Hey, what's going on, sports fans? TJ Jones here. Welcome to the State of the NFL podcast where we talk about some of the hottest topics in all of the National Football League. I apologize for such a late start. I mean, a really, really late start, but did want to do a few things. I had some things I had to do that was family oriented, so I do apologize for that. But did want to talk a little bit about this game so far. And if you are just tuning in, it is the fourth quarter and it is down to the wire, man. This has been one of the most exciting Monday Night Football games of the year so far. The Detroit Lions, they have a 28-24 lead as of right now. And, they're trying to hold on. The Baltimore Ravens just kicked the field goal. A lot of people looked at it as it was a tad bit controversial. Did it go through? Did it not? But it was non-reviewable. And as of right now, the Detroit Lions have the ball. And Jared Goff tried to deliver the ball down the field to Tesla, and that pass is incomplete. Nate Wiggins on the coverage right there. Really good coverage in homie hip pocket. So it is going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Detroit Lions. You got Jared Goff in the gun. All right, 1 second. Trying to get the ball. And no, it's a flag on the play, so that is going to be a delay of the game. And it couldn't come at a worse time, man. And Dan Campbell is absolutely beside himself. Okay, wow. So they were able to get the timeout in just in time in order for them not to have a penalty on that play. That was close. That was close. But what a game, man. What a game. Man, the Detroit Lions, they have played masterfully throughout this entire game. A couple of long drives. I know a lot of you probably seen that 10-minute drive that they had. I mean, they milked most of the clock. It was like a 95, 96-yard drive. I mean, just amazing stuff. And then they capped it off on their last touchdown drive, going over 90 yards once again, man. So, man, credit to the Detroit Lions, man. They definitely are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. And it seems like they found their stride. And defensive coordinator Calvin Shepard, man, he seemed like he's doing a much better job, even better than Aaron Glenn. All right, Jared Goff scrambles. And I don't know why he didn't decide to take off. He would have got the first down, but instead he tries to throw it to Raymond, and it's incomplete. So it's going to bring up 4th down, and the Baltimore Ravens are going to get the football. That was not a good move by Jared Goff. He had space and opportunity. I understand he's not a mobile quarterback. He's not looking to run, but the middle of the field was wide open. But you could tell right there he got a little nervous as he seen Buchanan kind of, zeroing down on him. He decided to try to throw the ball away without absorbing any type of punishment there. I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's a smart decision. And here's a return by Wester, the former Colorado Buffalo, trying to get around the side and gang tackled by the special teams of the Detroit Lions. So here we go. Lamar Jackson, multi-time MVP. He shines the brightest in Monday Night Football games. We've seen the stats, 22 touchdowns, no interceptions. This man has never threw an interception on Monday Night Football. Unfreaking believable that he has played in several Monday Night Football games and has yet to throw a pick. Hey, TJ, I'm here with you, bro. I appreciate that, Jules, man. What you think about your team so far? I know you got to be nervous right now. What up, TJ? You saw the game, was close, and was like, man, let me jump on this right quick. No, not. It wasn't anything like that, man. I'll tell you what I did, hello. So, I got home and I had to wait for a technician. And, my washing machine was acting up. So I had to call a technician out to try to change some things on there, the hoses that were on the back of it. And, it kind of ran, over time. And then, I went for a walk with my fam, got a little something to eat. We ordered takeout and just we're chilling with my family, man. My boy, I was going to go and do the live watch along, but Paxton asked, can he stay up a little bit late just to watch the first half of the game? And I told him, yeah, man. So he had a bunch of questions. I wasn't going to let my little man down. It's always pretty cool now that he's starting to get into football. He's starting to enjoy it. So just sitting there answering questions about the football game and the teams and all that kind of stuff, man. I'm not gonna take that for granted. So ran a little bit long, but we here now, man. And it has been an exciting game, no doubt about it. And thank you all for tuning in. Ask that you hit the subscribe button if you're here right now. Hit that subscribe button to the State of the NFL podcast. And we have a really good time over here. Talk ball, watch the game, laugh, talk about life and other things that's going on. So if you're into that type of stuff, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and help the channel to grow. Watching you is better than Eli and Peyton. Shouts out to Myrtle Beach Aware, man. What's up, Andrew? Appreciate you stopping by, man. What you think about your Ravens so far? What you think about your Ravens, man? I think that the Ravens, they look pretty good, man. But you got to give credit to the defense of the Detroit Lions, man. They have kept Lamar Jackson in check. I mean, you got 5 sacks right now, man. That's pretty uncharacteristic, but I mean, that is Lamar Jackson. That is the Ravens offense. And they hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and he fumbles the football. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by Detroit. Wow. Unbelievable. For the second time this season, late in the fourth quarter, Derrick Henry fumbles the football. He did it against Buffalo, and he did it again tonight. Unbelievable. One of the most reliable running backs in the league. Coughing it up. Picked up by Reed and the Detroit Lions. And now they have excellent field position. Aiden Hutchinson with the peanut punch on big Derrick Henry. And Reed on the spot. And Derrick Henry is he is beside himself yet again in prime time games. Derrick Henry coughing it up. 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. This is off to David Montgomery, who's had an amazing night. And he gets a few yards on the play, about 2 or 3 yards. Unfreaking believable. How in the world do you fumble that football? Like I said, look, it happened a couple weeks ago. Had an amazing night, over 140 yards, 8.7 yard clip, and he fumbled the football in a crucial moment. Man, as great as Derrick Henry is, you got to start asking the question, what are you going to do with him in these late games? Hand the ball off to David Montgomery up the middle, and he has enough for the first down. But there is a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play. I'm impressed tonight. It's been a great game. The game I want to see. Yeah, I mean, this has been a great game. I think it. All right, so we got a face mask on the offense, so it's going to replay 2nd down. So, yeah, I mean, look, both teams want this. If you're the Detroit Lions, this is the type of game that is almost like you want to show the entire NFL world that you're for real. And we know that the Baltimore Ravens are a Super Bowl contender. These are the type of games, if you are trying to be a legit contender in the National Football League, you have to be able to win. And Derrick Henry, my goodness, man, as great as he has been throughout his career, over the last couple of weeks, he has fumbled the football in crucial moments of the game, man. Ball security has got to be key for King Henry. But it is 2nd and 22 after the face mask. You got Jared Goff in a gun, Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hands the ball off to Jahmyr Gibbs. He gets up the right side, gets about a yard on the play. That's about it. That's going to bring up 3rd down on the play. So the Detroit Lions, third down. If you are the Baltimore Ravens, you have got to hold these guys to a field goal. You got to hold them to a field goal. That is the best case scenario right here. And if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you have to be excited and you got to be elated that they had such excellent field position. I'm talking Detroit, and you're able to stop them. You're able to stop them. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 21. Jared Goff signals Jahmyr Gibbs back to the backfield. He's in a gun. Here's the snap. And here we go to Tesla, and that pass is incomplete. He tried to go to the rookie Tesla there again, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal. So they're going to bring out Bates to try to add on to this lead. And if you're Baltimore, you have to be breathing a sigh of relief because that was an absolute blunder by Derrick Henry. Yeah, he has got to compose himself. I definitely agree with Troy Aikman. He has got to compose himself. You got to go back out there and you got to be able to make up for it. But if you're thinking about the fumble again, chances are, man, you might end up doing it. All right, so 45 yards for Bates is up, and it is good. Straight down the middle. So we have a 7-point game with 6:35 left in the fourth quarter. And Derrick Henry still is looking for answers. I got an answer. All you got to do is hold on to the football, man. He even fumbled the bench, man. Come on, man. What are we doing, King Henry? What are we doing, man? What are we doing, King Henry? This man fumbled the bench. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Much love to everybody watching this game. Look, it is amazing to watch two Super Bowl caliber teams just go at it. And you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams can end up seeing each other in the Super Bowl. And if the Super Bowl would be anything like we are seeing tonight, then I tell you, man, we are in for a treat. Gregory said, yeah, 100. What's up, TJ? You just came? Yeah, I just came on, man. Just came on. But look, I came on at the right time. I mean, the game is starting to get really good. Says sorry, but yes, it was Hutchinson that made him fumble. I like Hutchinson. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson is a beast, man. I mean, we know how talented he was coming out of the University of Michigan. And, you know, he had a really serious injury last year, and he made his way back, man. So credit to him, the rehabilitation process that he went through. The guy's a warrior, and it's great to see these type of players go out there and ball out, man. Unfortunately, Nick Bosa will be out for the season. He tore his ACL on yesterday. If you're watching this on live on Monday, Nick Bosa will be out for the season, man. That was a crushing blow to the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, we know how disruptive he can be. We know how great of a pass rush he is. I feel like we're watching a playoff game. Ravens always throwing it away. Let's get it out of the way early this year, I guess. Yeah, man, it just always seemed like Baltimore always, you know, wins a bunch of games, you know, in these big time matchups, and late in the fourth quarter, man, they just squander it away. We seen it a couple of weeks ago against Buffalo. You had a 40-25 lead with about 5 minutes left in the game, and you lost the football game. Like, you got to be able to find ways to close, man. If there's one thing that you can say about John Harbaugh is, you know, he's had an issue as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens getting his teams to close. So they got to find a way to try to win some of these close matchups, man. These are the type of games you are going to have to win to be able to get over the hump, to be able to be in a Super Bowl, man. Everybody's good when you get to the postseason, and nobody's just going to let you into the big game. But here we go. Here's the return. This is by Rasheen Ali. Rasheen Ali goes up, and he goes down the middle, and he gets past the 30, about the 31-yard line. So the Baltimore Ravens offense is about to come out to try to tie this football game up. And credit once again to the Detroit Lions tonight. They have kept Lamar Jackson in check. They have had spies on him. They have kept him in a box. They pretty much did a really good job so far. Best you can do on Derrick Henry. I mean, we know about the goal line stand a few quarters ago. I mean, the Detroit Lions are up to the task, man. They want to prove they're for real as a contender in the NFL. So here we go. Lamar Jackson looking some more. And he's sacked by, guess who? Aiden Hutchinson. Stanley, the offensive lineman, can do absolutely nothing with Aiden Hutchinson tonight at all. This man is on absolute warpath right now. And Stanley is one of the best right tackles in all of football, and he is absolutely destroying him right now. I mean, he's holding him. I mean, he's trying to do everything he can, but Aiden Hutchinson is just on another level right now. 2nd and 16. You got Lamar in the gun. Justice Hill in the backfield. He's looking. Checks it down to Justice Hill. Tries to get up the field. Gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play, but you have Alex Anzalone. You got Terrion Arnolds. The tackling by Detroit tonight has been outstanding. Like, this is the type of game that, you got to make sure that you're paying attention to details, the little things. If you're going to beat a team like the Baltimore Ravens, you got to be clicking on all cylinders. And this has been a masterful performance by Kelvin Shepard and his defense on Lamar Jackson. I mean, this isn't something that you see all the time. 3rd and 12, Lamar Jackson in a gun. We're almost past the 5-minute mark. Lamar Jackson looking some more. Tries to run, and he's tripped down again. And that's by Akadim, the Dream, Muhammad, former New Orleans Saint. And Kelvin Shepard is fired up. How can you not be fired up after this defensive performance? Lamar Jackson, frustrated. I mean, and he had absolutely nowhere to go with the football. Everybody was covered. So Lamar Jackson had no choice but to scramble. And here's the punt. High punt towards the sidelines, and Raymond just waves it off. Referee still walking. And, man, he's still walking. God, dog. Jeez. Man, what are we doing? For real? 30 yards? Man, this man walked about 20 yards. But anyway, man, Akadim, the Dream Muhammad out there making plays. I meant to say Dan Campbell, not Dan Quinn, TJ. Damn, how I wish Dan Campbell was hired as the Saints coach and not Dennis Allen. We all can dream, right? They look like world champions right now. I know. Josh, if they can play like this, man, they might end up getting over the hump. And I'm telling you, man, I hate to be disrespectful to Aaron Glenn, but Kelvin Shepard has his defense looking even better. Handoff to Jahmyr Gibbs, tries to get around the sidelines. He needs to stay in bounds, man. Come on, man. Rookie mistake right there. Keep that clock rolling. Come on, man. You got to stay in bounds, man. Keep that clock rolling. Force Baltimore to use those timeouts. I don't understand, man. You got to be able to, you got to understand situational football right here, man. I get it. You're trying to get yards, but, man, stay in bounds. Stay in bounds so you can be able to keep milking that clock. You got to force Baltimore to use those timeouts. When you go out of bounds, you basically say, giving the defense or the team that's down a timeout. Here's the handoff again to Jahmyr Gibbs. He barrels forward, and that's enough for a first down. So the clock is going to continue to move as we get closer to the 2-minute warning. We got about 4 minutes left in this game. So the Detroit Lions are trying to run this football, trying to milk the clock. You have to wonder if Baltimore is going to be using any of their timeouts so far. They got all 3 of them. So if they're able to convert a first down after this, you're going to have to start using your timeouts here. Right now, you can still, hold on to your timeouts, but I think, you're probably going to start using them probably after this play if this is a handoff to Jahmyr Gibbs, which it should be, and it is. A handoff to Jahmyr Gibbs. He fights forward. He gets past the line of scrimmage, and he's still fighting, and they're probably going to give him about a yard or 2 on a play. So the clock continues to move as the Baltimore Ravens still have not called the timeout yet. So they're going to let the clock tick. 2nd and 8 for the Detroit Lions. Masterful performance tonight by the Detroit Lions. I mean, they had to drive some very long fields, man, in order for them to score some touchdowns tonight. But credit to them. I mean, they have been efficient can be. Credit to John Morton, offensive coordinator. Here's the handoff. This is the David Montgomery, and he tries to fight forward. So he gets about 1 or 2 yards on the play. So this is going to set up about a 3rd and 6 or a 3rd and 5. And this is a huge third down for the Baltimore Ravens. You got to be able to get these guys off the field. And if you're Detroit, you may even consider throwing this football here, maybe on a little bit of a rollout or a play action here. So, you got to be able to throw the football here. They're going to have to snap this ball, before the 2-minute warning. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 5. They're sending everybody, and it's a blitz. And they get Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs cut, and he gets tackled down by Roquan Smith, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning, and that's going to set up 4th down. Really clutch tackle by Roquan Smith. So we might see Baltimore get the football back. And Derrick Henry, oh my God. I echo your sentiments, my friend. What's up, TJ? I want to know how both these teams can have a wide receiver so wide open in the middle of the field so frequently. Wow. That just look, that's really good offensive play calling. That's really good offensive innovation. That's what that is. That's what that is, my friend. So, credit to Johnny Morton, man. He was a guy that had some big shoes to fill when Ben Johnson left the team and became the head coach of the Chicago Bears. And right now he has this team clicking on all cylinders. I mean, they got a lot of offensive talent on his team, man. A lot of offensive talent on Detroit's team. And now it seems like their defense is matching up with their offense. They're going to be a very tough team to beat, man. Maybe Earl Thomas should be an offensive lineman so he can block for Derrick Henry. Somebody, you need to do something. I mean, Derrick Henry like destroys and wrecks games. And, it really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, if you're fumbling the football, putting the ball on the ground, then it really doesn't matter, right? Tonight, Derrick Henry, not the greatest Derrick Henry night, 12 carries for 50 yards, but he also has a touchdown tonight. And, when he does run the football, he's pretty effective. But, putting the ball on the ground, I mean, you're hurting the team right there. But nobody really has had a really good night for the Baltimore Ravens, to be honest with you. I mean, you look at a couple guys that contribute. Rashad Bateman made some plays throughout. You had DeAndre Hopkins had a really clutch catch, but nobody really has stood out offensively. I mean, it's basically been, Lamar Jackson just distributing the ball to several different receivers. I mean, from guys like Mark Andrews to DeAndre Hopkins, Zay Flowers, Justice Hill. So, nobody has really stood out in this game, but credit to Lamar Jackson getting the ball out to different receivers throughout this game. All right, so you got to see what's going on here on a 4th and 2. Dan Campbell understands the magnitude of this game. So are they going to try to draw the Baltimore Ravens off sides, or are they going to try to go for this? But if they do draw them off sides, I'm not going to say the game is over because Baltimore still has all 3 timeouts. All right, so here we go. Play action. Looking. Throws the ball. Amon-Ra. Clutch. First down, Detroit. And Dan Campbell. Whoa, boy. Hold the phone. We got a flag. And it's holding on the defense. So that penalty is declined. And the Detroit Lions convert on a 4th and 2. Are you freaking kidding me? Dan Campbell, you are, man, Dan Campbell got guts. I mean, Marlon Humphreys, like holding on to him because nobody expected for them to put this ball in there. And Dan Campbell got some cojones to go for something like that against the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank on Monday night. Game on the line. Chips on the table, ladies and gentlemen. What a clutch pass by Jared Goff, and what a play call by Johnny Morton, the offensive coordinator. My goodness, man. My freaking goodness here. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. David Montgomery going. 20, 10, 5. Down. Detroit Lions. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your dagger. Baltimore shocked. Fans shocked. Detroit fired up on the sidelines. Oh my goodness, man. You call a run like that, Baltimore can do absolutely nothing. I mean, the offensive line pushing these guys back. Marlon Humphrey trying to get them on the ground, but to no avail. The Detroit Lions coming to the bank. Knocked off the Baltimore Ravens in shocking fashion. 4 rushing touchdowns on a Baltimore Ravens defense. Unbelievable. These are the type of games that are what you like to call statement games. Saints fans, NFL fans, fans all over. These are the type of games that are statement games. When you are a middle of the road, when you are a team that has been climbing, these are the type of games that are culmination games that show the entire NFL world that you are for real. This is an amazing performance tonight by the Detroit Lions. This is the type of game that shows the entire NFL world that you are a legit contender. I mean, we know Lamar Jackson's record against NFC teams, and Detroit goes into the bank. And it looks like they're about 1 minute and 42 seconds away from knocking off the Baltimore Ravens. Wow. Wow. Jerry, before season started, I thought the Ravens were going to be good. I think they're still going to be good. They're still a good football team. They just need to close. Like, they have leads. Like, we know the Ravens going to be a double-digit team, man. We know they're going to be a double-digit win team. We know this. I know this. You know this. You know it. But, like, it means absolutely nothing if you can't win games like this. These are the type of games that can decide you going to the Super Bowl or making a deep run in the playoffs. You got to be able to close. You got to be able to close. You got a lot of talent over there, but you got to be able to close. Got to be able to close, man. Lamar and Derrick Henry didn't look like they were really into this game. They were into this game. I mean, Baltimore was into this game, but Detroit had other plans. Lamar Jackson dosed the ball deep down the field, tried to get to Rashad Bateman, and that pass is incomplete. And Lamar Jackson, I mean, throughout the entire night, man, he has seemed like he has been frustrated. You know, it seemed like he's talking to himself and talking to his teammates. Don't seem like he's really happy by what he's seeing. Offensive line has not had their best showing. He has been on the ground most of the night. Very unconventional game for Lamar Jackson. All right, so here we go. Walker in motion. All right, and here we go. Lamar looking, scrambling, going back. Michael Jack. And he gets sacked. Moonwalking backwards. Alex Anzalone with the sack, and 7 sacks tonight on Lamar Jackson. I mean, when you have 7 sacks on Lamar Jackson, you have done something, ladies and gentlemen. You have done something. If you get 7 sacks, I don't think I ever seen a team sack Lamar Jackson 7 times. But anyway, 3rd and 26. Lamar looking, trying to step up, checks it down to Justice Hill, gets downfield, and he bounces off. Justice Hill down the field. Wow. What a gutsy effort by Justice Hill. Bounces off a defender and runs for about 30 more yards. Wow. 51 seconds left is not going to help you win this football game, but if you're going back and watching tape, that's the type of stuff you want to put on tape, especially when you're trying to erase a deficit. That's the type of stuff you want to put on tape. Credit to Justice Hill right there. This is why I hate YouTube can't edit it. You can edit on YouTube, can't you? Lamar Jackson, that pass is caught by Rashad Bateman. Oh yeah, man. By the way, look, I want to give a special shout out once again to my guy Andrew with Myrtle Beach. Well, man, y'all make sure that y'all follow his YouTube channel. He keeps you up to date with all the weather reports, tropical storms, etc. He does a really good job, man. So make sure that y'all subscribe to his channel. Does a really good job, man, when it comes to the storms and keeping you up to date, giving you information that you need, man. Make sure y'all give him a follow, a subscribe, and subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. All right, Lamar Jackson scrambling, going around the right sidelines and gets out of bounds, gets stiff armed, threw out of bounds, and about 35 seconds left on the clock. I believe that was Brian Branch who pushed him out of bounds. Ravens got slapped asleep. Jerry, I don't know if they got slapped asleep, man. I think that Baltimore came to play. This is a culmination game. Like Detroit, they were for the last couple of years, they've been really good, but there's something that seemed like they were missing. And I think this season, it seemed like everything is coming together. It seemed like the offense complement the defense, and and vice versa. So you're gonna win a lot of football games, man. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 7. Baltimore needs a touchdown in a major way. Mark Andrews in motion. Snap. Lamar. Caught. Mark Andrews. 10-5 and in the end zone for the touchdown. Fred Sanford style. Rock Emerson, if you will. Garbage time touchdown by the Baltimore Ravens. I call it the Rock Emerson touchdown. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. A garbage time touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. And I know that it seems like Detroit is going to come away with the victory, but you don't want to be giving up these big time scores. You don't want to be giving up these type of scores late in games, man. You don't want to do that. Don't want to do it. TJ, I am really disappointed in our defensive coordinator and Coach Kellen Moore. These players acting as if they don't care about committing these penalties. I don't think the team is scared of Kellen. Well, look, man, I don't think you have to be scared of a guy, but you got to be able to respect him enough to do what he says. I mean, you got to at least do that. As we see, the 2-point conversion for the Baltimore Ravens is no good, but there's a flag on the play. I'll get back to what you have to say in a second, Varnell. Let's see what this flag is all about. I know some of y'all are ahead of me when it comes to the television telecast, but we got to hold it on the defense. So, all right, so it is going to be offset penalty, so it's going to be a retry. So they get one more time. Bill Vinovich, New Orleans Saints fans' favorite referee, by the way. But anyway, back to your question. Back to your question there, Varnell. You don't have to be afraid of a guy, but you got to respect him and respect him enough to, be able to listen to him and do the right thing. You show that respect for yourself too. I don't know what that was. That was just a bad pass. Tried to get it to Zay Flowers in the back of the end zone. But, they just got to go out there and execute, man. Like, nobody have to be sitting up here holding nobody's hand. These are grown men. You're making millions of dollars. And you know that you need to stay, on sides, right? You need to stay on sides. And, man, they just not a good football team. I don't know what to tell people. Like, the Saints just aren't a good football team this season. I don't see anything changing. I just don't. I don't think they have the firepower to win these football games. And if they're playing like this, sloppy and undisciplined, they definitely not going to win any football games. So I just tell Saints fans, strap in. Like, strap in, enjoy the games, take it for what it is, watch it because you're a fan and you love the team. But when it's all said and done, don't let this destroy your day. Go watch some more football, watch some teams that know how to execute and don't get in their own way. And hopefully, the New Orleans Saints can eventually figure out these issues that getting them beat. So I don't know, man. But right now, this team is not very good. Yep, too bad Nan Campbell couldn't take over when Sean left. Yep. TJ, what I was trying to say was before the season started, I thought the Ravens defense was going to be good. Yeah, I mean, but they don't have Meta BK out there. You know, he's a huge force, and I think that him being out of this game is one of the main reasons why the Detroit Lions were able to. Oh, that was a good onside kick, but it was picked up and recovered by Sam Laporta. But I just think that Meta BK not being out there was a huge difference. So I mean, this is a game where if you're Detroit, you walked away from this game like, man, I did something. I did something. Let's see. What game are you coming down for? I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to get down there. I want to try to get down there for that New England game. I know that this year I plan on attending Jackson State homecoming, and I know that's the same weekend as the New England Patriot game. So I might go to the homecoming game down in Jackson at my alma mater, and then probably go to the Saints game the next morning or something. So, I plan on coming down there like probably mid-October. So probably be that New England game. Do you think New Orleans should try out Atlanta old kicker that they just cut? No, I don't. There's a reason why they cut him. There's a reason why they cut him. So I'm good on Yan Wei. I hope that he finds a team, but no, I'm good. All right. I mean, I don't need him to come in with the yips to replace a kicker that already has the yips. So I'm good on that. But the final score, the Detroit Lions knocking off the Baltimore Ravens 38-30. This was an exciting game, man. It was an exciting game. This was a very impressive victory by the Detroit Lions. And, they are, one of the most impressive teams in the NFL. As crazy as this sounds, the Detroit Lions remind me of like the mid 2000, like 2010, mid 2010s New Orleans Saints team. Like that's what they remind me of. Like, like they used to have all these different exotic offensive plays and man, they had people, good defense and man, that's what they remind me of. TJ said, I'll pass on Yao Ming. Look, I ain't going. Nah, I'm good, man. You don't want, like, if you got a kicker that has the yips, why would you replace him with another kicker who has the yips? Nah. Let Yan Wei go sit down for a while. Let him, let him get the yips in check, and then maybe if the Saints need a kicker next year, we can have a conversation. But no. I'd rather have Charlie Smith. Yeah, you might well see what Charlie got. Give him a game. Like sit Blake Ruby for a game. Now, I don't know if you wanted to go to Buffalo with no Charlie Smith. Maybe, against the Giants or something like that. But let him sit. Let him sit. Like I would say, like, give Charlie Smith a 2-game stretch. Give him a 2-game stretch and see what he can do. It's always fun. It's always funny, like when players be sitting on the bench, like looking up at the sky like that. Like you gotta believe that they just doing that for the cameras. You gotta believe they just doing that for the camera. Like, come on, man. You ain't that dejected. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're upset, but never any time ever I would play any organized sport, and I'm just sitting up there like when my team losing, I'm like I don't know, man. I'm going to the locker room. I might throw something in the locker room. Might throw something on the sidelines or something like a mouthpiece or a helmet. But like, am I just sitting on the bench staring off in a daze? No. Southern Miss alumnus here. I had a class with Favre back in '89. Brett Favre went to class. I'm just playing, man. Shouts out to my guy Piano Dean, man. Shouts out to Piano Dean. Yeah, man. And shouts out to USM, man. I used to go down to USM all the time when I was down in Mississippi. He used to have an event called Q Delta Weekend. I used to go down to Southern Miss have a really good time, man. So shouts out to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Shouts out to my guy James Cremetta. I know that he's a graduate of USM. You know, I mean, there was a time like I was even going to go to a USM grad school. So yeah, man, I ain't got nothing against USM. Really good university right there. And they got my guy, man, Coach Huff as the new head coach over there. Came from Marshall. Really good guy right there. Unfortunate for my Ravens sports media. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but they'll bounce back, man. The Ravens gonna be all right. Dang, YouTube didn't give me a noti. That's because I kind of just made this on a fly jet. I started like real late, man. We picked up with about 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. we came through during thrilling time, like we wasn't here all night. All right, we wasn't here all night. We was here for a good time, not a long time tonight. But I'm gonna go ahead and answer some more of your questions, man. We're gonna do some rapid fire. Any questions that you have about any NFL team that you root for, any questions about the NFL, we're gonna do a rapid fire. I'll give you a few minutes to put some questions inside of the chat. It doesn't have to be about any particular team. I know there's a lot of people watching from the State of the Saints podcast channel. Make sure if y'all watching on that channel, y'all roll over to the State of NFL and hit that subscribe button. All right, make sure that y'all do that for me. But yeah, I mean, any team. Let's see. Already read that. He too paid to worry that hard. Well, I mean, look, if you're a competitor, you want to win. You don't care how much money you making. You don't care about that, my guy. Like, you just want to win, right? You just want to win. So at Ravens, it was an NFC team. It won't hurt you. No, not at all. But, I mean, you look at Lamar Jackson's record against NFC teams. I mean, he doesn't lose to them very often. So this is definitely a notch in the belt of the Detroit Lions. Who's the best team in the NFL right now, in your opinion, and why? Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL, and I'm going to tell you why. The Buffalo Bills, in a 3-game span, has shown you that they can rally from behind. They showed you that they can play lights out defense, and they showed you that they can play at their worst, and they still have enough to be able to win a football game. So the games that I'm mentioning are the first 3 games of the season. I mean, they beat the brakes off the Jets. And, they played probably one of their worst games this season against Miami, and they still found a way to win. So, to me, I think that Buffalo is the best team in the NFL right now. I just think that, they are flawed. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like they're the best. They're flawed, but they find ways to win. Tough, gritty teams find ways to win. And when you're there in the end, it probably is because you're a tough, gritty football team. You smell like smoke because you've been through the fire. And, you have a lot of teams that resemble that. Buffalo, Tampa, Detroit, teams like this. Like those are the type of teams that could possibly make some noise, in the postseason. So you got to have those gritty moments, man, when everything is not going to be time on task. Everything is not going to be ideal, right? Not going to be ideal situations. Sometimes you're going to have to make your own luck. Sometimes you're going to have to make your own moments. And I just think that the teams that are able to do that more so than others are always the teams that end up being there in the end and also finding their way towards prosperity. That's just what it is. If Justin Herbert can act like he's that guy, the Chargers are going to be trouble with that defense. Look, I think that Justin Herbert is playing some of his best football. He's definitely in the early bracket of the NFL MVPs. And, Jim Harbaugh just does this with quarterbacks, man. He instills this level of confidence in them and belief in them, and guys just buy in. Like every quarterback, I mean, from J.J. McCarthy in college, Colin Kaepernick, Trey Lance, everybody's talking about how much he improved. And now Justin Herbert, he had his hands on Andrew Luck in college when he was coaching at Stanford. Like, he's just a coach that can get the best out of a guy. If a guy is good, he's going to make great. If a guy is decent, he's going to make good. It's just the way that Jim Harbaugh operates. And, he's a really good quarterback whisperer. And, I just think that Justin Herbert has always really been a good quarterback. It's just been those playoff performances. It's been big games. He has to rise to the occasion. Now, we did see the Chargers in Brazil on a national stage, and everybody saw the game, and Justin Herbert was willing and dealing. So if he can continue to play like that, then I think that the Chargers definitely can come out of the West. I looked at the Kansas City Chiefs play against the Giants on Sunday night. I'm not impressed, and I know you're not impressed either. Like, you can't be impressed after those type of performances, so no. That's why I miss him being with my 49ers. Jim, a great coach, man. Yeah. I was hoping that he can stay in college just a year longer. Then we could have got Dennis Allen up out that door, and he would have been there for the taking. But a man can dream. All right, I'm going to take a few more. Says, I'm sure once we get more of our playmakers back, we will be all right. Yeah, I mean, look, the Ravens going to be all right. Look, it's not overreactive. It's not like they lost to the Jets or the Saints. Like if you're doing something like that, then you having some issues, right? They lost to a really good football team. I mean, the Detroit Lions had the best record in the NFL last season. So let's not overreact here. Like, they lost to a really good football team, a Super Bowl contending football team. I know, we always looking for answers when our team loses, but I mean, they didn't lose to no scrubs tonight. There's no shame in losing to Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. I mean, if it was a couple of years ago and you lost to the Detroit Lions, then maybe you need to do some soul searching. But these Detroit Lions, you lose to them. You don't need to be losing no sleep, man. On to Cincinnati. That's why I miss him. I already read that. Yeah, man, but they're going to be all right, man. I agree. They are going to be okay. If I remember correctly, the Saints are the team that drafted Mark Bolger. Do you think he could have been a franchise quarterback if he's been given a chance? That's a very, very compelling question, Piano Dean, because think about this. If the Saints were to end up keeping Mark Bolger, right, and he played the way that he did, then there wouldn't have been no Drew Brees. So, I mean, that's as crazy as that seems. That's just the case, because Mark Bolger was really good for the Rams. And we know that the Saints would have kept him if he was playing the way that he was for the Rams. So, I mean, he played really well throughout the 2006-2007 season when Drew Brees was signed with the Saints. So if Mark Bolger would have ended up being with the Saints and playing like he did, then Drew Brees probably wouldn't even exist in New Orleans. So, but thank you all so much for checking out the State of the NFL podcast. Really do appreciate it. Monday Night Football, we seen a good one. Lions versus the Ravens, and we will. I promise you, we won't be late for this one. Thursday Night Football, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West showdown. Both teams are trying to jock for position. You got the Rams, who suffered their first loss of the season. 49ers still undefeated. And both of these teams, as of right now, has only one loss. So something has got to give in a very competitive NFC West. And we'll be right here giving it to you on the State of the NFL. My name is TJ Jones. Follow me on X at TJAYJones8. Also, subscribe to the channels, the State of the NFL. You can also check me out every post game of every New Orleans Saints game on Bleacher Report. All right. So make sure that y'all show your boys some love and continue to support the channel. I hope that you all enjoyed this live stream as much as I enjoyed giving it to you. Till next time, I'll see you down the road.